Hey, so today we're going to be talking about how to build muscle and lose fat at the same time and why it's possible. So at the start of my fitness journey, this is exactly what I did to go from this to this in under like half a year. Now, obviously for longer term gains and to really tone up and to build muscle and lose fat, you will have to go through building and cutting phases, but at the start of your journey, you definitely can do this. Today, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it, so keep watching. So first, you want to decide on what your main primary goal is. So yes, you want to build muscle and lose fat at the same time, but there has to be one that's more of the predominant goal. This will completely depend on your current body fat percentage. So if your current body fat is in a place where you don't feel comfortable, where there is a substantial amount of body fat to lose, then your primary goal should be to lose that body fat. If you're more so skinny fat, don't have that much body fat, it's more the stubborn small areas of fat, then you would want to be focusing on building muscle. Now, even if you decide that you are building muscle, you still can lose body fat, and now we're going to go into exactly how to do that with your training and your nutrition. With your nutrition, what you want to do is you want to adjust your nutrition accordingly to your goals, okay? And you want to be around maintenance. Now, if your main goal is to build muscle, you'd want to be eating in a slight surplus, so around 10% above your maintenance calories. Now, the biggest mistake, and don't make this mistake, that I see people making is that when they think about building muscle, they think they have to eat in a massive surplus, so they're going out just overindulging because they're trying to build muscle, and what happens is they end up gaining a lot of body fat, they're not happy with how they look, and then they start blaming the fact that they started lifting as to why now they feel chunkier and bigger and bulky. But it's not the lifting, it's the fact that you mentally have told yourself that you can eat anything because you're in a building phase, which is not the case. If your main goal is instead to lose body fat, resistance train, but then really make sure your nutrition is adjusted to that. To lose body fat, you would have to be in a calorie deficit. What I suggest is 550 calories below your maintenance to lose around half a kg of body fat each week. Now, what I'm saying is body fat, not body weight. So if you're building muscle at the same time, the scale may not show anything. The scale may not be half a kilo down each week. It may even go up and may stay the same, and that is why the scale is not always the most accurate way to track progress, especially if you're going through a body recomp and you're building muscle and burning fat at the same time. Now, this leads me to my next point, so keep watching. Make sure you're lifting properly and progressively overloading. If you're not stimulating your muscles, you're not going to build any muscle. And this means you're not going to the gym lifting light weights and high reps, but rather you're going to the gym with the mindset of how heavy can I lift for around 8 to 12 reps. Okay, that is typically the range that you'd ideally like to be at. 6 to 8, 8 to 12, great range, and then 12 to 15, but you don't want to be doing heaps of reps with very lightweight. You want to be focusing on getting stronger and progressively overloading. Now, the key with progressive overload is you want to make sure that you're actually tracking the weights that you're using. If there's no way of you tracking your workouts, how are you going to know what to do next time? How are you going to know how to push yourself? What you lifted next time, what you should be lifting the next week, what you could be lifting? You need to make sure that you're logging down your workouts. And for our clients, basically they have an app where they can track everything and we can see what they're doing as coaches as well, so that we can also come in and just make sure that they are still progressing and working on pushing themselves. Next, this brings me on to my final point, and probably the most important in terms of tracking progress, which is taking progress photos. I know that at the start you probably don't want to take a photo of you just standing there in your underwear, but it's going to be so beneficial for you to track your progress and to actually see, am I building muscle? Am I losing body fat? Because sometimes, again, as I said, the scale may not tell you everything, right? So this is where the photos really do come in. Many of our clients have actually done an amazing body recomp and their weight has stayed the exact same. So if they did not take those progress photos, they may think that they didn't make any progress, but then when you look at them visually, it's like night and day difference, and that is why it's so important that you are taking those progress photos. And finally, give yourself time and know that if you do want faster results, it's probably more beneficial to really deep dive onto one area. So really just building muscle and spending a prolonged time there, and then going into a cutting phase where you're still lifting heavy to maintain the muscle, but then your primary goal is just body fat, reducing body fat, rather than just trying to do both at the same time. But if you're new to the gym and you're relatively new to proper resistance training and a tailored nutrition plan, and perhaps you've just started with a coach and you're actually really dialing into things, you definitely can build muscle and lose body fat at the same time, and then you probably want to go into one of those more distinct phases. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, drop a comment below, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.